Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Cast, our Dungeons & Dragons web series. I am Russell S.A.N, and with me I have... When last we left off, Aquans Jonas' esteemed repose was interrupted by a massive tremor shaking the entirety of Vern's run. Upon staggering out of bed and into the streets, they found that the Platinum Dragon Inn had collapsed in on itself, with numerous trees toppling over on top of it. Yes, as you can see there, that is what remains of the inn now, after the ensuing fires and rubble was cleared away. Venturing into the inn to discover what happened, they made their way, eventually, to Lady Vapula's penthouse suite, where they found evidence of ritual magic, which they determined had caused the entire inn to collapse into itself, and to effectively break open a sealed chamber in the basement, which led to an underground cavern, within which was some underground citadel or temple, which clearly the Court of the Seven had an interest in. Acting effectively on the information they had, they decided it was time to deal with Vapula anyway. They made their way through a separate network of tunnels and caves into the temple, and where they finally came face to face with Vapula and dueled her to the death. Hers, in this case.
Otherwise we wouldn't be here.
Dispatching her and her summoned fiends, they also realized that the room they were fighting in was a massive staircase leading up to a sealed door, upon which was inscribed some form of numeric cipher or code written in the celestial script, leading them to believe that they were in the middle of another Lyrian research facility, similar to the one that they found so long ago on the plateau. Following this, they left the... unable to enter... Yes, they were unable to enter the door as they were at the time, so they left the tunnels, went back through the inn, and left and went to rest and to research how to open the door, as they believe that despite Vapula being killed and the Court of the Seven dealt with for the moment, it was only a matter of time before someone else came to discover what lied within that temple. And that's basically where we left off. We were heading back to the Whippoorwill, which is probably going to go up in estimation in this town now, because it wasn't collapsed in on itself magically.
You know what that means, right? The second there's a demand for more rooms and stuff,
Rent.
the prices.
Rent goes up?
Rent goes up. What do you mean food is 4 silver pieces now?
We paid for a week in advance, which is probably...
Up now? Yeah, pretty close. And you mentioned the plateau being so long ago. It wasn't that long ago.
No, but it seems that way.
It's a whirlwind.
It's been about we're past the month and a half mark at this point, definitely. We're definitely approaching 2 months almost of venturing.
Wow.
But yes, we have been taking this rather quickly, but we have managed... We did have a lot of reasons to do so.
We're taking care of most of our reasons.
Yes. Except for one.
Yes. We need to find Bree.
Yes.
So that is coming, I suspect.
Yes.
Hopefully my notes will eventually find their way to her and she will contact us.
Yes. But, as we said, we headed back to the Whippoorwill to get some much-needed rest. So, That's basically all that happened last time, so I'm going to pass it over to you now.
Alright, so it is getting relatively late. It is not yet sunset, but we will head back to the Whippoorwill. It is, as you say, one of the 4 remaining inns. Oh, sorry. There's a dive bar down by the docks.
Yes, the anglerfish, which we...
I don't think it's going to require or get any extra business because it is that kind of place.
Worst will never come to that worst.
Yeah, exactly. But there are the north and south gates that have 2 rather large inns, and of course the one we're in, which is the west gate. So, saying that, we have noticed that upon entering the facilities, there is uptick in the number of people in the common room. Not so bad yet that we can't get a seat. We can find a table, have our usual meal, get something to drink. Prices have not gone up yet. And unless you want to do anything specific, we're probably going to retire for the evening.
No, we're pretty spent from the...
Apula took a little bit out of us.
Yes.
Not a whole lot of hit points, though.
No, but it did take a lot of effort to bring her down.
Yeah. Alright, so we retire for the evening.
Yes.
Are we sticking to our usual approach to security?
Yes, we're probably feeling a little bit more relaxed with the fact that the Court of the Seven operative is no longer alive, but we have made other enemies here, so there's no reason to break the tradition of me casting alarm spell on the doors and windows. It seems.
So we just cast alarm.
Yep.
Our familiars will take their stations for observing.
Yep.
We will get a long rest.
Yay!
But not entirely restful for one of us.
Oh no! Why?
Well, a slightly... Oh, you disappeared. Oh, there you are.
Drop the d20. There.
A slightly familiar dream begins for you. You are in a rather large open area, and there seems to be a ravening horde of monsters charging towards you. You feel, you know how dreams are sometimes when they're familiar. You have been here before, and you start to take an inhale of breath because of something you remember from your last dream.
Yes.
But as you're doing so, you notice the ravening horde of monsters is starting to change one by one. They're shifting shape, and one by one, they now are turning into a familiar figure for you. The trickster. Each and every one of them is now much more diminutive. And now you have as the last one changes, you now, as they're getting closer to you, is now a horde of tricksters charging towards you, just as you're finishing the inhale of breath.
Not this guy again.
Undaunted, in your dream, you forcefully exhale your breath, and it comes out in a cone of freezing cold air. And that cone obscures, of course, the view before you for
Briefly.
Yes. And then the vista of sparkly, frozen landscape appears, and each and every one of the trickster demons or whatever are frozen solid. At this point in your dream, you're a little confused. Things have changed a little bit. You sense a presence beside you.
Oh dear.
And you turn over to look at this presence. You see a very, very well-dressed individual. Very resplendent, like silks and gold braids, and all sorts of really nice, very fine clothing. But from the head up, it is a skeleton. No flesh whatsoever on its visage. And you also notice both hands that are now reaching out in front of it are skeletal. No flesh, no bone, like just bones, nothing else. And it's very difficult, obviously, to have a visual representation or feeling for what it is thinking, but you get the feeling that somehow the body language says to you that it's very disappointed. And after it stretches its hands out a little bit, it snaps its fingers, which sounds very odd because there's no flesh there, but it does sound like a snap, and all of the frozen tricksters shatter, except for one. Only the ice shatters from that one. And then it points to the ground right by its feet, and the trickster has a very easy demeanor to figure out. It has the body language of a little puppy who has peed on the floor and has just got caught, and is now slinking over to this skeletal figure. And as it's doing that, you turn, you're watching both, right? A few more details of the skeleton come to mind. First off, it has a gold and silver kind of braided together circlet around its skull, and in the center is an opalescent gem, bluish in color, and kind of, how opalescences give off a little bit of refractory of the light, and that strikes you. And the other thing is, there is a large tome, very nicely tooled, intricate geometric shapes into leather. It's wrapped in a couple other straps and is attached to the belt on the side that's facing you. And at this point, your reverie is interrupted because it looks down at the trickster and says, "You know this is not how we do things," and then turns towards you. And as it turns towards you, you see, well, obviously it doesn't have eyes. It has two brilliant blue glowing dots where its eyes are, almost to the point where it's painful to look at. And it looks at you up and down like you're being assayed, judged, hard to say, but then it looks, and you feel a pull on your arms as they come up, and the two bracers that you have, that you, in your last dream, got marked by the trickster. He waves his hand over his skeletal hand.
It's a hand.
Yeah. And you notice that image of the saber cat, the eyes, the cat eyes, and the two fangs glows up. And again, you get that impression of disappointment. And again, the snap, and you see that glowing image disappear. And he looks down at the trickster and says, "You can't imagine how something with no flesh is doing this, but it sighs and says..."
Well, it sighs without having a larynx, presumably.
Yeah, basically it sighs without any of this. It says, "Well, that's better." And then says the trickster, "Come." And then there's a shimmer, and they disappear.
Okay.
You're left there in this expanse of nothing for a short period of time, and the dream comes to an end. In the morning, you wake up. You are refreshed, as your long rest should give you, but you may have a few things to think about.
Well, one thing I'm definitely going to be curious about is I'm going to be taking out the pearl I use for identify. I'm just going to identify the bracers again, because because last time this happened, I noticed these were not the same bracers I picked up.
Yes.
So I'm just curious to see.
You originally picked up bracers.
Yeah.
That would increase your armor class to
13.
12, wasn't it?
No, it's my armor class is 11 without them, and the bracers' defense are +2 armor class.
So it'll give you a 13. So,
yes.
Normally these are bracers that would bring your armor class up to 12 plus your.
Yeah, it just increases your armor class by 2.
Yes.
As long as you're unarmored.
Yes, and then you were noticing that.
I was slightly harder to hit.
Yes, you're much harder to hit. Yes, so you take 10 minutes,
Yep.
plus a little bit, and you virtually cast Identify.
Yeah.
And they are still... your armor class is still 14.
Okay, so that hasn't changed anything, but maybe... Or,
You get a feeling that these are just now magical bracers. There's no lien on them in the sense that you owe.
Okay.
You know that feeling you've been getting the last little while that something's coming, that you're going to have to pay back something because of feeling a little obligated? Well, that sensation seems to have left you.
Okay. I'm going to say, well, that's one thing not to worry about anymore, I guess. And then I'm going to fill you in on the dream I had about the trickster showing up again and this skeletal figure.
That is very interesting because, well, you know, that first ring of protection I picked up
Yes.
had possibly some sort of, you know...
Yes, it came out of the puzzle box that we got from that labyrinth.
Yes. Anyway, I'll have to give that some thought because I certainly haven't had any dreams.
Well, I tend to occasionally have dreams of future events anyway, so maybe that had something to do with it.
Maybe I'm no longer obligated either. But I've never had that feeling, so who knows? Alright. The day is yours. What do you want to do? We're still up in our room, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I already pre-rolled my portents, so... This time. Well, I guess we should get dressed and get ready and head downstairs for breakfast.
Yeah, before the crowd gets here.
There's one fewer. Oh, well, let's be honest. The people who were staying at the Platinum Dragon Inn were very wealthy, so the average people who wouldn't frequent it.
True enough, but the wealthy people still have to live somewhere.
Yes.
Or stay somewhere, so... Most likely the north and south gates are going to be busier than this one.
Yes, because the whippoorwill is not as...
Yeah, it's a little bit more out of the line of traffic, let's say.
Yeah.
Most of it is north-south. This gate is more tradespeople and people coming in to hawk their wares in the, well, this area here being most of the market, so. Alright. So go down, and slightly more busy, hard to say, really.
Okay.
Definitely enough room for us to get food and a drink and get ourselves refreshed and ready for the day. Alright. As we're eating, a familiar person comes through the door. Very, very well dressed. Hold on a second. Change my page. Somebody know, of course.
Yes.
Anatole comes in.
Yes, Steed, as I keep calling him.
Yeah, Dapper Dan. He has yet again another completely, totally different outfit. This time it's mostly greens. And nothing has changed as far as the quality of the clothing. It is just a different outfit.
Well, we've only met him. This is the third time we've met him. I assume he owns more than 3 sets of clothing.
We don't. We don't want to wear a change of clothes. Well, actually, we do have 3 sets of clothing because we got that the party clothes for that boat thing.
Oh yeah, did we keep that?
No reason not to. But anyway, he comes directly to us. He seems a bit... He seems to have something on his mind, which is not unsurprising, because every time we've seen him so far, he's had a job for us. So
Yes.
he asks, would you mind if I join you?
Alright, I gesture for him to have a seat.
He says, something has come to my attention, and to the attention of a number of people on the council, and just the wardens and various people that are, in charge of keeping the peace, that is puzzling. A number of shopkeepers have claims of robberies, that they've had materials and money and stuff stolen, but no one can figure out how it's being done. This is not, I mean, we have lots of people working on this. I just want to bring this to your attention because, well, you are magic users, and we assume that magic is being used to do this because there's no break-ins, there's no indication of the locks being picked. Everything is left exactly the way it was when they locked up for the night. But in the morning, certain valuables are missing, and that's all. We've had, there's a wizard on the council, each checked it out. There's no magic residual. It is simply that things are missing. And I wanted to warn you because you're becoming a little bit more of a known entity in town with all the things you've done to help us out. You're not under suspicion. Trust me. We know that you've done more than enough to earn our respect, and there's no reason for you, with the amount of, that I know of at least, the money that you've acquired recently, that you would do this. There's just no point. But not all merchants are as knowledgeable of what's going on, and you might see a little bit of friction from some of them. Just like I said, this is more like a heads up. We have people working on this, and hopefully we'll get to the bottom of it. But if you see something, definitely let us know. Hey, thanks for your time. He says I got lots to do, as you can imagine, and he bids you guys farewell and heads out the door.
Right.
Almost on his tail,
oh.
a dwarven gentleman comes in the door.
Oh, this guy. Is this the one I saved from drowning a few nights back?
You recognize him, and he recognizes you right away, because, well, hey, not a whole lot of blue-skinned people around. He walks straight over, and says, finally, in very gruff voice that I can't do.
No one is as gruff as a dwarf.
Yep, and he's just ever so happy to see you, and finally I get to repay you for saving my life, getting me out of there. And he pulls out from his pocket a small bag, and tosses it down on the table. You hear not a clink of coins, but a crystalline sound of gems banging up against each other. And he says, this is crass, but I'm a merchant, and this is how, the only way I can, besides saying thank you. He gives you a bow,
okay,
and nod to me, because I assume we're together, and he heads out.
Alright, I'm going to take a look inside the bag. I assume has gems inside of some sort.
Yeah, you open up the bag, and it is indeed have gems in it, about 10, roughly 100 GP gems.
Okay.
That is 1,000 gold pieces he's just given you, because.
Okay.
So, add 10 gems to your pile.
Okay. Oh, you don't want any of them?
Well, you did save his life.
Okay. We are very quickly heading towards being put on the rupee standard.
I know it.
We're currently carrying more of our gold in gemstones than in gold.
Yeah.
It is later, I presume.
Well, yeah. Way later. And even with bags of holding, it is something you have to keep in mind. But,
Yes, and it's definitely something we are on top of.
yeah, sure. Alright. That is pretty much the last of the parade of people coming into the door, at least.
Okay.
On your agenda for today is, first off, we need to do some deciphering and figuring out for
Yes.
the puzzle lock.
So there's going to be some research put towards that, but since we're going to be spending most of the, at least part of the day doing that, first I'd like to go to Wendle's and pick up some more parchment and ink for transcribing because I'm thinking of putting together, scribing some scrolls to have on hand for going forward from now on. Because it's something my proficiency with the transcriber's kit lets me do, and I haven't actually put to much use yet.
Okay. Excellent. Also, I think it's a good idea we go and see if he's been troubled by this recent thefts.
Yes. I mean, I assume Anatole knows that we've frequented Kettlewistle curiosities by this point, and he didn't mention it himself, but we never know.
Yeah. Alright, so I take it we've finished our meal.
Yes.
We've done our morning ablutions, and we are now going to head over to Wendle's, which is not very far, really. It's just over here.
Yes.
So.
It's like a minute walk.
Alright, this is now mid-morning.
Yep.
A couple of hours got used up by eating and chatting and talking to the various people, and we head out. There's still a fair amount of traffic, even though most of the gate traffic for this gate is very early because they have to bring all the produce in for sale for there. But there's still some traffic left, so we have to wander over. Our minute commute is now a minute and a half.
No.
So,
I just hate traffic jams.
yeah. Actually, believe it or not, there is a bit of a traffic jam, but not in the gate. Sorry. So we come out here,
Yes.
and there is some traffic there. It's easy to cross. But as we head this way, we notice there are some extra people, kind of almost like bunched up, trying to get around. And the reason is a creature that you've never seen but know of is occupying a good chunk of the street. There is a massive centaur there.
Alright, that's unusual for...
First one you've ever seen, but you know they exist.
Yes, but they usually do not... They usually stay clear of settlements and civilization.
Yep, they are well known for being nomadic and staying away from this. Which is probably part of the reason for the huge scowl on his face. It's definitely a guy, male. And then instead of a horse body, it is the biggest horse body you've ever seen. You know what a Clydesdale is? They're the huge draft horses they use for hauling really heavy loads in wagons. That's the equine part of this individual. And then the human part is the most muscular guy you've ever seen. And he has a pole arm, because it's one of the things that they like to do, because you charge around like this.
They are literally cavalry in themselves.
Exactly, yes. And he has it's a massive pole arm. The haft of it is probably bigger than we'd feel comfortable hanging on. It's definitely bigger around than our staves that we use. And he's kind of like this, leaning on it. And he's got this, like I said, really big scowl. You assume the pole arm goes all the way to the ground, but it still is feet above his head.
So it's a pike.
This is definitely a massive weapon. And the other thing you notice about him is he's not wearing any clothes, except he has this kind of a leather strap harness around his torso, and you see what can only be described as a great bow strapped to his back. It is taller than you, and it's also really thick, and you see a quiver of arrows there. And he is glaring at basically anyone that comes near him. So the traffic is kind of backing up as...
Away from... Yeah.
like they're trying to get by him, but he's huge. I mean, the street is not, it's not for wagons to go by and pass each other, but he is pretty much taking up one whole side of that. And they're trying to get around him, and no one wants to tell him to move. The other thing you notice is he's standing right in front of Wendle's.
Alright, this is unusual.
Yes.
Do centaurs speak common?
You can roll, check. Yeah. Sorry. Nature, I assume. Sorry. You have nature, right?
I do, yes. Oh dear. That's a low roll. 9 total.
It is an obscure enough race that roll. You know of them.
Yes.
You know they do speak. They do have language.
Yes.
They are a little less intelligent than your average human on like the average individual one, but you don't know for sure. You can try talking to them if you want.
They also live in almost near isolation from most humanoids, so that might be enough to skew them towards not speaking common.
Yes. So, you're currently... Well, he is right here, blocking the way...
The door.
Blocking the way into Wendle. And we are...
And the windows.
We are a little ways back at the moment, just a bit behind the traffic jam. We're just trying to get around him.
Alright, so I assume he's blocking 90% of the front of Wendell's shop.
Well, no. He is definitely blocking the entrance.
Yes.
But
You said he was massive!
we're relatively speaking a lot smaller than him, and we could easily get in if we wanted to. He's not physically doing anything to prevent people from getting around him. He's just standing there,
Yet.
being belligerent in his body language. He's just glaring at people. He's not happy to be here, and he doesn't like people.
Alright.
He's just standing there staring at people.
Alright.
Well, I mean, a horse in general is a large animal.
Yes.
A large horse with a human on top. Like this guy is towering over everybody, including you.
Yes.
So,
Well, we kind of do need to go check on Wendell and see what's going on. So I guess I'm going to try to push my way through the crowd towards the shop.
alright.
See how this goes.
I would like you to roll a dexterity check to see how you make your way through the crowd. This is going to determine how long it's going to take, more than anything else. And see how many people you piss off on the way there.
dear. That's a 6 total, so I assume quite a bit.
Oh, good lord.
Rolling really badly.
I rolled a total of 5, so we are not having the best of luck here. The crowd is in a bad mood anyway because they have this scary dude in front of them, and we're trying to wiggle our way through, and they just want us to get out of there. They want to take our time, wait your turn. But we do
that. It's going to take all day if we do that. They're not going anywhere.
Well, it is moving around. It is not a log jam. It is moving, but there's more people wanting to move than there's people actually making it through. But in a lot longer time than we would like, we are now, by wiggling around a little bit towards the building side, because most people are trying to go around the other way, we have skirted enough between the building and the crowd that we are getting close to Wendell's. And now we are pretty much in the shadow of this massive centaur. Do you just want to go to the door and ignore him, or do you want to test out his knowledge of language?
I don't know. I rolled 2 really, really, really bad rolls so far. Do I want to try an persuasion check on...
Is your prime attribute.
It's better than yours. But still.
What do you think?
Oh, why not? Let's go up and see what... what brings this quite exotic creature to his rural town.
Alright, so you step up. You don't have to go too close to him because
No.
first off, he'd have to really look down to see you.
Yes.
And secondly, he is kind of an imposing figure.
And thirdly, we're already probably really close to him.
Yeah. Alright,
All right.
What would you like to say to this guy?
I said,
He has noticed you.
yes.
And he is glaring at you. Though it is a little bit different that he's glaring at all that. Because you are unique. Hold on a sec. He seems a little mollified. He is a little less glary at you, but just a bit.
A little bit. All right.
Well, mostly because there's a bit of curiosity, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're blue. You're not human.
No.
Doesn't like humans.
Oh, he's not gonna like you.
Yeah, so hide behind you at the moment. All right.
You're 3 inches shorter than me, and you're hiding behind me.
Yeah. So let's see if you can monopolize on this slightly less of a grudging opinion of you.
All right. How do I want to word this? This is going to be important, I think. I say, greetings. What brings you to this market town? Is it? He says you seem quite far from your usual home.
Roll and see what happens.
Well, it's going up. 7. I rolled a 2, a 5, and a 6 so far. The session. This is.
You kind of hear a bit of a growl. Not so much a growl, just sort of like a deep throated. And he was not impressed, apparently, by the body language.
All right.
Doesn't say a word, just sort of a. And he is now that little edge of curiosity, because you're blue, you're now in with all the wrath. He's just glaring at you.
Okay. You said we can make it into Wendell's place?
Yeah, he's not physically preventing
Access?
anyone from going by. He's just there. You can walk by him.
Alright. Well, I'll say. Well, it was nice talking to you, but we do have things to do today. I'm going to head towards Wendell's door. See what happens.
Right. You go to the door,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear a high-pitched whistle. Coming from behind you.
Alright. I will turn around. Did it come from the centaur?
You can roll a perception check if you like.
Oh, no good will come of this one.
Ah, come on, the rolls can only go up.
Different die. 20 total.
You're pretty sure, because of just the angle. That's a
Alright, I will turn around with my hand on the doorknob and I say, yes?
He's not looking in your direction. He's looking at the people and glaring.
So the whistle came from him, but it's just weird.
What do you do?
I'm gonna go in, I guess.
Alright. So you open the door.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, Wendell has customers. Well, 2 customers. One has to be 8 feet tall, humanoid,
This is
wearing a massive, like a great cloak, the kind that you wear in really horrible weather.
you cannot just put great in front of everything. Just
Yes, I can. Hood is up, and hands are loose by their sides.
Mhm.
It's just standing there. The other individual. Oh, sorry, I said.
the door is opening on its own.
Someone wants out.
Okay.
And in my defense, I've only used the word great twice today.
Yes, but the only reason you didn't use the word great to describe the polearm is because there are pikes and lances of that length.
Yes. So, this great cloak is actually a thing, but not necessarily this large. This is a solid individual, easily 8 foot tall, and not not skinny, really broad of shoulder. And this thing, the other individual is a distinct contrast to the two you've seen so far. A very diminutive individual, slightly over 5 feet. Has a cloak, but the hood is down. You can see from the back, has very short, cropped black hair. Because the hair is short, you notice the ears are round. It's not elf or anything, so it's definitely more human than you think, just by the look of it. And on the table, where we normally deal with stuff, or Wendle brings stuff out and have a look at it and everything, there's a large tome. I would like you to roll a perception check, please.
Ah, there we go. We're back to rolling poorly. 7.
It's a nice, it's a thick book. It looks like it has, it's hard to tell because it's being blocked mostly, but it seems to be leather bound, and there's some kind of diagram or something on the surface of the lid, but you can't really tell what it is. You notice one thing, the individual talking to Wendle turns their head slightly, as in they've noticed that you've come in, and then turns back to Wendle. There seems to be a bit of a barter going on. You're not sure what's being offered or what's being bought or anything. But by the expression on Wendle's face, because you've known him for a while now, it's not going well. It is definitely something he's not interested in, and is certainly not willing to, whatever this deal is, for it to go through. You hear a bit of a sigh from the individual. The book is picked up by them, which is huge, and disappears into a bag.
Okay, they have a bag folding.
They flip up their hood, and second time you heard a snap of the fingers today. One was in a dream, but this time both of those individuals turn around. And when the large one turns around, you hear the clank of metal. You see when they turn around, instead of a face there, it is a full plate helmet. You can't see any facial at all because full plate pretty much blocks everything. And the two hands are also covered in full plate gauntlets. I mean, this person is really, really armored, but you don't see any weapons. And the other individual has a cloak underneath. You're pretty sure there's a bag of holding because that tome went somewhere.
Yes.
And their hood is up, their head is slightly downcast, and they're trying to go around us and leave.
I'll just step out of the way to let them out.
Alright, they go by. They head out. The short individual, another cat wants out. Come back in. Alright, that should be the end of that. The short individual grabs hold of that harness on the centaur and leaps up onto its back. And then 3 of them head out towards the gate.
Okay.
So, after that,
Yes.
turn around. Wendle sighs. Thank God you guys showed up. I couldn't get rid of her. Just at me about making a deal for that book and a bunch of stuff that I wasn't willing to sell for it. And it was I wouldn't take no for an answer. It was just you know those customers you get every now and then. These guys, you know, they don't deal with the public as much as I do, but it was just. I'm glad to see her go on.
Yes. Was one of the reasons you're coming by is we heard that merchants have been having some difficulties as of late. We just wanted to see if you were all right.
Really? I haven't heard of it. Then again, I don't interact with the general merchants. I mean, I do have some dealings with a few people for food and stuff, and herbs, and people that come to me. I don't really get involved in all of the commerce in town. It's just way too busy for me, so I haven't had any problems. No, he hasn't heard anything.
All right. Well, apart from
What can I do for you guys?
Yes.
My best customers.
Well, I've come to purchase some parchment and ink for scribing scrolls in this case.
Oh, excellent. How much would you like?
Yes. Now I have to figure that out.
Alright, while you're doing that,
Yeah.
my order is quite a bit more straightforward.
Yes.
As I figured it out. I tell them I have some scrolls I want to buy. I want to buy Chromatic Orb, Blur, Gust of Wind, Levitate, and Spider Climb. And I need probably a few extra sheets of paper and ink. I think I worked it out to be 4, because I already have a bunch. The total comes to 1,100 gold pieces for the paper, ink, and everything else.
Yep.
And he's going to go and deal with that, and I'm going to pay mostly in gems.
Yeah, we are. As I said, we are very much heading in that direction.
Yeah, I know. So I'm going to buy those, and I'm going to pay 200 in gold, and then 9 gems on top of it. Because I want to finish up the spells I want for first and second level before we make it up the third level spells. And then I will never go back to ever thinking about first and second level spells ever again, probably. Alright, that is what I need to do. He's off doing that, and I'm paying him. And like I said, we've developed a nice rapport.
Yeah.
The nice thing about that is we don't really have to haggle. He gives us a good price. Alright.
Okay, I'm going to buy. Oh wait, yeah. So it's. I'm going to buy 6 sets of parchment and ink, which comes to 300 gold pieces, which should cover my scroll scribing needs for the moment.
Easily done.
Okay.
Because paper and ink is something that, well, ever since we came to town anyway, that he stocks up on.
Yeah.
And we've been buying, lots of them.
So I'll pay him 300 gold for that.
Right. And, you just got a bag of gems. We can use some of that, or?
No, I'm actually going to use the gold.
Okay. And that is pretty much the end of our bartering with them, I guess.
Yep.
Anything else you want?
No, I'm good. You?
Alright, cool. And on our way to the door, we'll wish them well, and definitely keep your eye peeled, because we've been hearing rumors, and just always a good idea to be safe.
Yes.
Alright, so we head out, and we have some work to do.
Yes. The one thing I want to do first is I want to ask you to summon your familiar and have her fly up in a high circle. I just curious to see if you can spot those 3.
Alright, we step outside. I'll have my owl appear on top of one of the buildings nearby. Have her fly up and do a spiral pattern as high as I can. So we were in there for probably about half an hour. Let's see. I can see.
Okay.
I think she has advantage on that because one of them was a 1. I mean, we're talking about 2 really large individuals and very easy to see. But no.
Okay. Alright, I was just curious. Alright, we can head back to the whippoorwill then.
We were in there, well, like I said, about a half hour.
Yep.
And in that time, well, you know as well as centaurs can move rather quickly when they want to.
Yes, but people in full plate tend to
Yes.
to not move as quickly.
Yes. Alright, so we head back to the whippoorwill.
Yep.
You have some work to do on some scrolls.
Yes.
I have some scrolls to transcribe into my spell tome.
Yep.
And I also want to try my hand at making a potion of heroism today. So we have a busy day.
Yes. So, do I have to roll for scribing scrolls?
Yes. It is a skill check.
It's an arcana check, if I remember correctly.
Yes. So you have considerable advantage at it.
Yes.
And you have your portents, but you still have to roll.
Alright, I'm going to start with the one that'll take the least amount of time, because...
Okay. What's the first scroll you want to do?
Right. See Invisibility is the first one I want to start with, because it's one I'm not likely to prepare, but it's one that's handy to have in specific circumstances. It is Divination. So we discussed the fact that my Divination Savant ability that my School of Magic gives me makes it easier to describe scrolls as well as transcribe spells. Alright. So that is going to make it cheaper, basically.
Well, it makes it cheaper,
Yeah.
and also it lowers the difficulty level for doing it, because normally a first level scroll would require a spell check of 10, which is the normal amount, plus the level of the scroll, which would be 11.
Yeah.
So in this case, it would be a second level spell,
Yes.
but it's cut in half. So your the score or the DC that you need to make
Yes.
is 11.
Alright.
Do you have a portent for that?
I do.
Or do you want to save the portent for something else?
I have one of the portents I have is a 10, so I'm just going to use that because it's not going to be much use for most things.
No, that's mediocre.
No.
But for this, it'll
So
guarantee.
17 together, all together.
Yes, which is more than enough for you to succeed at a See Invisibility scroll.
Yeah.
So mark off a single sheet of paper ink because it is in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And we now have a scroll.
Yeah.
I am going to do the same thing, but I am making a much harder skill check for a rare potion of heroism. So I have to make a 20.
Yes.
Alright. Good thing we're well rested. Ah! Well.
I also think it's a medicine check.
Using some luck because I rolled a 7 and with my skills it doesn't come up to
20. No, this is gonna be hard for you.
yes, I know. We're going the wrong way.
This is going to be another one of those times when you use all 3 luck points on one thing.
Yes, I know. My first roll repeated. So that's 3 luck points gone.
All gone, and this is the last chance you get.
This is my last chance. Oh, 17.
Plus
Plus 6. So
23.
Ah. Thank God for luck.
6.
Is that 6? My skill in Arcana.
Is it Arcana or Medicine? Did we decide?
Medicine check. Medicine, sorry.
Medicine.
It's not
Alright,
plus 6.
so it's not plus 6. No, it's plus 3, isn't it?
2 plus my wisdom, yes. Oh, plus 3. 20.
20, exactly.
Holy crap. Alright, so I do now have a potion of heroism.
You do!
Just
Yes, just.
Alright, so I'm not going to try making a second one of those.
I don't know if you can, but yeah, anyway.
Well, yeah, I know. Until I've had a nice long rest. Apparently, that took a lot out of me.
Okay. I'm going to move on to the next scroll I want to copy. Now then, which was... What was it? Yeah. I want to have a copy of Knock available.
Alright. Same. Oh, no, this DC is now 12.
This is 12, yes.
Do you have another portent?
I do. And it would guarantee me getting it. I've been rolling badly, so yeah, I'll use it. 7 plus 7 is 14.
Alright. 7's useless anyway. Bit more useful than a 10.
Yeah. Alright, that is going to take 2.
So I am going to transcribe my scroll into my book, my spell book. That fortunately does not require...
Yes, that does not require a roll.
Yeah, so I'm just going to put those into my tome, and that's just going to take up a good chunk of the day.
Alright. Well, I can do one more. I think I have enough. So far I've been working on this 6 hours.
Yep.
So I'm going to do one more.
Okay.
This is going to be Rune of Locating, because it's going to be interesting to see if Wendle wants to purchase a brand new spell scroll that he does not have access to.
Right.
This might be something...
This is going to be a roll.
This is going to be a roll! Yes. It's going to be a 12, though, isn't it?
This is divination, though, right?
Divination, yes it is. And I made the spell. That probably doesn't help. So an 11? Is that the beat?
Well, it is.
Well, I rolled a 10 plus 7 is 17.
Alright. You succeed.
Alright.
Well, I would like at this point to montage the rest of this.
Yes.
Because there's nothing else that needs to be rolled, decided upon, so we're going to spend the day. And probably part of tomorrow morning just finishing stuff up. You can change any spells slots you want, and everything else. We'll just go fast forward a day. And that way this can all be done.
Okay.
And I'm not going to bother trying to make another potion of heroism because
You barely managed it.
barely managed it, and it's just a bit dicey. I don't know if I really want to try it again. Well, I'm gonna give it a rest right there too.
Yeah, there we go.
And I think I'll keep my spell selection the same for the moment.
Yeah, I get 2 new portents.
Yep. And my
Not much better than the last 2.
Alright. Any other things you want to do is now a day later.
Yep.
You've got your new portents.
Yes.
I still, well, we need to dedicate some time to working on figuring out this numerical puzzle lock.
Yes, the cipher.
Yeah, and figuring out how that's going to work. I suspect what we should probably do, unless you want to do some more shopping or investigating possible reasons why thefts are going on, to montage one more day. Just to be, make sure we have allotted enough time for this.
Yeah, we can montage another day if you want.
I did transcribe, 5 spells.
Yes. So...
That does take time. So
yes.
2 days off is reasonable. And during that time, I'll have my owl fly around a couple times just to check out and see what's going on.
That would have taken you 14 hours. Okay, I'm just going to roll then. What would this be?
Oh, do no portents if you want.
No,
Yeah,
no, I meant rolling for working on the cipher.
oh,
I probably should.
go for that.
should roll for that.
That's going to be an Arcana check. You can have advantage because I'll be helping you out.
Okay, 24 total.
Alright.
Alright, so we're making progress on that.
Definitely a success.
Yes.
And actually, 24, I would probably consider 2 successes. It's, well, no, not 20.
No, a natural 20 is 2 successes.
Definitely progress.
Yes.
Alright,
So
things along.
another day goes by, so I can roll 2 new portents, which is good because the 8 and the 11 weren't going to be much help. Somewhat better.
Right. Breakfast goes by relatively uneventfully, though it is getting a little bit busier in here, much to the pleasure of our, I don't know her name. What's the staff's name here?
I believe it was Accra, I believe was her name.
Accra. Yes, very pleased with the extra income, and they're very busy as well. And anyway, we're finishing up eating. This is about the time normally when shops begin to open. And
Yes, Accra was her name.
hmm?
Accra, yes.
A halfling comes running in. A very familiar halfling comes running in.
Alright, well, that's one of 2 people it could possibly be.
Well, this one's Wendle.
Yes.
And he looks very upset. He runs right up to us, and he's out of breath because, well, even though it's only a minute and a half for us, it's a little bit longer for him. And in short order, we find out that he has been burgled.
You know, I had a feeling that was going to be coming up.
He got cleaned out. No paper, ink. No, all his magical items, money, it's all gone. The door was not broken into. It's just, everything is just gone. Including all the gems and money that we have been, making.
That we've been giving him.
Yeah, that we've been bartering with him for his services and stuff. It's all just gone. No indication whatsoever of anything other than the fact that all that stuff is just no longer around. He has a safe. The safe wasn't damaged. The door wasn't jimmied. There's no indication whatsoever of anything. So Wendell is a third level magic user.
Yes.
He does know the spell Locate Object. And he cast it. And he says, you know that Ring of Regeneration that I had?
Yes.
That's what he used as the focus for it, because it is his most expensive magic item. And he cast the spell, and it was indicating just north of west from town, in that direction. He says, I'm not an adventurer. I mean, I know I'm a wizard, and I have spells, and I gave up that all long ago. He is more than happy to give us a huge reward for the return of, well, as much of that. I mean, it's livelihood. It's just
Yes, I know. His entire shop is gone, basically.
just left. Potions, everything. It's all just gone. So yeah, and he indicates, as I move this, he says, basically, from where we are here, it's in this direction.
Okay.
And he is frantic.
Alright.
You can see he's been crying, because this is like his life has just been.
Yes.
He says, if you can, please help me.
All right. Well, obviously we are going to help him. We're not going to leave him destitute like this.
Yeah.
Not only because he is effectively a source of resources for us on our adventures, but also because we've come to regard him as someone as a friend over the past few weeks.
We've gotten to know him. And most importantly for me, besides his friendship, is, well, from my perspective, he saved your life. And that's all
Yes.
I need. He helped in the middle of the night make that potion to turn
Yes.
you from being, a little stone lawn ornament.
Yes, I remember the basilisk quite well.
Yes, so, yes, I'm more than happy to help him out. And I said, well, this is our top priority. We're going to get on this right away, Wendle. Go back to your shop. We will deal with it.
And try not to panic, I guess. There's not much else you can do.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So we have a direction to go in.
And also, we are, or I should say, you are at least reasonably familiar with some of the items that were in his shop, because we have looked at most of them.
Yes. In fact, I have one in mind. Alright, so the first thing we should do is head outside of the town gate.
Alright, so I'll shift this down a bit here. Alright, so we're going to head out this gate.
Yep.
Where do you want to go? In this direction?
I'm going to start heading that way, but yes, but as it does, I'm going to pull out a forked twig from my component pouch, which is the material component for locate object, because when I had the same idea Wendle had. And I am going to take the twig in my fingers, and as I speak the incantation, I spin it, and it starts spinning in this almost like a field of blue rippling energy that is almost like the surface of a pond, and the twig is just twirling in it almost as a wood in water, like a compass, effectively. And the object I am focusing on here are they were your at one point, slippers of spider climbing, because I'm very familiar with those objects, that magic item, because you wore them until very recently.
Alright.
So it's going to be spin.
Not ask Wendle if he had sold them or not, though, but we'll check into that in a moment.
Right?
Might be heading back into town.
We might. I might be recasting the spell.
As the spinning slows down, it does the usual thing where it goes and points in a direction.
Alright.
The direction it is pointing in, we're right about here, it is pointing this way.
Alright.
Towards this pond.
Or lake, or whatever. Yeah. So we're going to head that way.
Yes. So this is, as we didn't really describe very well, because we pretty much just came down the road and that was the end of it. This is farm country.
Yes.
This is like lots of crops being grown. There's obviously a network of roads, fences, and it's cultivated. Everything that you see that doesn't have a tree on it is basically just farmland. So we're heading that way, and you're definitely getting a pull towards, like I said, definitely heading this way.
Okay.
So as we're going along, I would like you to roll a perception check, please.
8. Clearly I'm focusing more on my spell than anything else.
Yeah. Which is probably the reason why you don't notice until an arrow goes shooting by your head.
Alright. Well, I have a very good idea where the direction the arrow has come from then, because, well, that's how arrows work.
Yep, it is in the direction we were headed.
Ah. Do I see anyone?
Not with that roll.
No, for that roll, no. Do you see anyone?
distance, because it's a good 700 feet away still. There seems to be someone in that area there. And as I say that, another arrow goes shooting by, but this one's quite wide. And you definitely saw where it came from this time because it's coming from that area.
Alright.
And yeah, it is a long way off, and the arrows are still thudding in the ground behind us, a good 100 feet behind us.
So, almost as if they have a longbow. Or a great bow, as you were calling it.
Possibly a great bow.
Well, we should probably take cover.
Another arrow comes shooting out, just missing us. There's no cover here.
There is no cover.
This is open farmland. There's crops. There are some fences and bales of hay that you can probably get behind. But for the most part, this is open space. You can get maybe very small partial cover. So what do you want to do?
Well, we could... one thing we could do is keep heading in the direction that my spell is leading us, while trying to stay behind cover to avoid getting shot. Or we could run in the direction of where these arrows are coming from and try to deal with this archer. Because none of us has any spells that reaches 700 feet.
No, this is a good long range for even for archery. This is not quite shot in the dark kind of level, depending on the skill of the archer. But they are definitely shooting at penalty. This is long range.
But there is one other thing to be concerned about. As we get closer to them...
The range is going to stop.
Yes, their aim will improve as we get closer.
Yes, well, the target will get closer and easier to hit. Whichever way you want to look at it. Alright. Well, we're not without spells.
No.
You can... Well, I have a couple of choices.
Yep.
I can make myself faster and get there quicker, but I still will take a couple of shots at me.
Yes.
The other option, of course, is to make more of us and cast mirror image and there'll be more targets.
Yes. Mirror image is not concentration, that's true. Though we'll be taking another second level spell slot.
Yes. Well, we have a few spells, and I'd rather, actually, yeah. I think we'll cast mirror image. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Not yet.
Not yet. It only lasts a minute.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot longer to get across this distance than a minute. I'd rather have some of that left.
What do you think is a better idea? I asked. Should we go deal with the archer, or should we just try to keep heading in?
Another arrow was shooting by Broadway. I'm not even close to us.
We seem to be able to maintaining distance isn't a bad idea, because whoever this is, their aim doesn't seem to be very good at this range.
The nice thing about arrows is they will run out of arrows.
Yes.
And this is who I think it is.
Yeah.
I would like you to roll an intelligence check, please. I'm going to do the same.
Straight intelligence is 22.
You have an image in your mind, being extremely intelligent,
Of the centaur, with the ridiculously large bow.
with a ridiculously large bow and a quiver of arrows. And you remember that he had a dozen arrows in there.
And he's fired 4.
He's fired 4. You could.
Yeah.
Play it out.
Yeah, I think we should, but I think we should also keep moving in the direction that my spell is heading. So basically, it was leading us in direction towards the lake. I think we should...
Yeah, well, obviously,
Yes.
we're heading this way. We're right about here right now.
Yeah.
The archers right about here. We can skirt around this way around the lake if you want.
Yes.
Or we can head directly towards him.
I think we should skirt down towards the lake and the wall.
This way.
Yeah, that way.
Okay. So, are we proceeding at normal space, or are we picking it up?
I'm not really trying to be stealthy. Whoever's shooting at us knows we're here.
Oh, we're in the middle of the
Yeah,
field.
I don't have... Running doesn't break my concentration. I think we... Huh?
So we're gonna dash?
I think so, yes.
Alright.
Just to make this go by a little quicker.
I would like you to roll, because you're concentrating on the spell, I would like you to roll a dexterity check, please. Because this is not road, this is, you know, crops, twisty paths, so.
This is kind of important, I think. So, hang on. I am going to use one of my portents.
Good.
Where we go? There it is. So the portent. So with the portent and my dexterity of +1, I have a 14.
Alright, good.
Okay.
Alright, so as we're quick stepping our way down in the path between the lake and the wall,
Mhm.
you hear, actually roll a perception check. You may not hear this is still fairly far away.
10.
Your cat actually picks this up. Does she out?
No.
Okay. Never mind the sound that I was hoping you would hear. But you do hear a roar of frustration.
Does it sound familiar?
No?
No. Okay.
You can surmise what you want to surmise. But you do notice that charging out of here,
Ah, he decided. Yeah, it was like he's come to the conclusion that.
charging out of here, and with a lowered, massive polearm, is a centaur. And you suspect we are his target.
Yes, and he's decided to stop shooting at us because that wasn't working.
Well, you do notice that the bow on his back, it was a recurve bow, but
Yeah.
now it is straight.
Did he broke the bow?
He rolled a 1.
Oh, the
String. That was the sound I was hoping that you would pick up. But
Okay. Are we rolling initiative?
yes, we are. This is for a little bit further along because he has a bit of ground to cover before he gets to us.
Yeah.
Alright.
Crying out loud.
Alright. Let's see what I got. I'm rolling really bad too.
Yes.
I have an 8.
I have a 6.
Total?
I only have a +1 initiative bonus, yeah.
Well, those are 3 horrible numbers, but the centaur is going to act first. But none of that really matters until he is, 120 feet from us.
Yeah.
Because at that point, he's within range of us.
What did the centaur roll?
Yeah, the 10. So, for all intents and purposes, we're going to start this at 120 feet away. He is going to act first.
Yeah. Alright.
His movement is 50 feet.
Alright, so if he dashes, he can get 100 feet towards us.
He can get 100 feet. I mean, he is literally almost at the point where the tip of his long pike, as he's charging towards us, you can almost see the sharpness of the blade because he's still charging towards us.
Yes.
But at this point, we can cast spells or do what we want at his next, at the top of the round. He's going to try and skewer one of us like a roast pig.
So you're up before me.
Yes. At this point, I am casting mirror image. Because
By the way, Kirsty has 10 minutes gone. Has more than 10 minutes gone by since I cast locate object.
no.
No? Okay. Then I'm going to keep concentrating on that spell.
Right, we're a bit more than halfway through it.
Okay.
We still have time left. This all happened really fast.
Alright.
You cast it.
Just as we left, yeah.
We walked a little bit. Arrows started flying. We started running this way.
Okay.
So yeah, we're about halfway through. Alright. I've done mine.
So you've cast Mirror Image.
Yep, because there is a huge centaur bearing down on us with massive boulder. He is definitely turned.
Do I want to do the same? It does seem like an idea. I'm going to also cast Mirror Image. Because it's not concentration.
So, you want to move it all?
Yes, I think I'm going to put some distance between us. I'm going to keep heading towards the direction that we were walking in, though.
So you're going to head this way?
Yeah. My 30 feet of movement.
I'm going to move back a little bit as well, actually, to, like I said, to make sure there's distance between us.
Yeah. Alright, so there we go.
Top of the round. The charging centaur is now going to make it to us.
To which one of us, though?
Our usual odds and evens.
Yep.
Which is going to be today.
I'm usually even, so I'll go with that. Your monsters continue to wish to kill you.
Monsters like to kill me. Alright, so he is going to charge Lord. He's already
It's a pike. Yep. Just gonna try and gore you with it.
He's gonna try and shift about me. Or 7 plus.
This might miss.
Where to put your stats?
Your armor class is the same as mine now, isn't it? Because you have both the rings of protection.
14.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, the other first stage. That's great. Even with his plus 6,
Misses.
just misses me.
Alright.
Dodge to the side, he continues on.
That's good for us, though.
And he's going to. So he was just about to touch us. He charges down about 40, 50 feet, turns around, and is now charging back towards us.
Alright. So that's your turn.
Man, I'm up! Probably need a change of underwear, but I'm good. Alright. I'm going to cast the magic this one because I want to hit him.
Yeah, seems like a good idea.
That's a good go-to spell. Alright. Alright, first, one charge with the wand.
Okay.
For 10 points of damage. Not a bad magic missile. And there's no point in moving. He's far faster than the other.
Okay. So he's taking 10 damage
Yep.
from that.
Not overly bothered by it.
No, he seems pretty hardy.
Yeah, he's not a lightweight.
Okay.
You're up.
What is the distance between me and the centaur?
Currently,
Yes.
he was about 10, went down. He's charging back. He is about 20 feet away.
Alright, well, if he's only 20 feet away, I am actually going to step 5 feet closer to him.
Alright.
Or is this a mistake? Not that getting close to him because he can.
Might make you the target, because...
Yes. No, I also meant he might have a very high Constitution modifier. That's what I was just thinking for this. I've already decided I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a step 5 feet closer towards him. And I'm going to bring my hands up and cast Frost Fingers at him. Constitution saving throw. Let's see how good his Constitution is.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Oh, it takes no damage.
No damage at all.
Well, that completely defeated the purpose of me casting that.
Well, someone has to be rolling well. It's not us.
Alright, well that's a waste of a spell slot. That's my turn. I guess I still have 25 in movement. I'll keep moving back. I'll move back. Basically 20 feet from where I was because I have to move back 5 feet.
Okay.
See which one of us he chases.
Something happened, but it didn't hurt, so he is going to continue on the same turn.
Yeah.
And for some annoying reason, he couldn't hit me. He wants that to work, but
Yeah, so at least it wasn't that natural 20.
oh, that is interesting.
What?
Well, the interesting thing about pasture lands and farming in general, it's not just, cows, horses, and pigs, and crops. There are other animals that like to take the home with free food. He has stepped into a gopher hole and has tripped himself.
He rolled another natural 1.
And he is buried that form deep into the ground. And he's gone for a tumble.
Oh. Well, let's hope he has difficulty getting back up.
Oh no! Like I said, he's quite a hardy individual. He is flaming red at this point. And he gets back to his feet and is going to waste his turn pulling his polearm out of the ground.
Alright,
So,
back to you.
back to me. Alright, so he is now only 20 feet away. Alright. I am going to try a new spell. One that I haven't done yet. If I remember the last session I mentioned I was looking for a rock.
Yes.
Nice round stone. Good baseball size. So I pull that out,
Yes.
and I hold it up towards him, and I cast Catapult.
Catapult.
And it goes straight towards him, and let's see if he is going to dodge it away.
Yes, I think it's a dexterity saving throw.
Yes, it is. He rolls a 3. Even with his modifiers, that is not going to get anywhere close to my spell save DC.
No. Catapult's not a small amount of damage, if I remember correctly.
It is 3d8.
Ah.
Oh, this might hurt. 1, 3.
7!
7 points of damage!
It all goes to the same place. It's never a bad thing, even on low rolls.
It bounces off
Off his shoulder.
these sections that
Yeah.
annoys him a little bit.
So your aim was a little off, because you were aiming probably for his head.
There's something soft and damageable like solar plexus.
Yes.
Now that hits something with some good solidness to it.
Yes. Which is, I presume, 90% of the creature in front of us.
Yeah. He is a solid.
Okay. Well, it's my turn now.
Oh, that hurt.
Yes.
Alright.
Alright, well my plan did not work. Alright. How far away is it from me now? It's
moved. He got up,
yeah.
went over to his alarm.
Yes, but I moved.
You moved. Oh, yeah, you moved up and then you moved back.
Yeah.
So you're still 20 feet away from him.
Oh no, I moved back 20 feet.
Oh, you moved back 20
I went 5 forward, 5 back, and then 20 further back. So I guess I'm 40 feet away.
You're 40 feet away from him.
Okay, that's still fine for this.
Well, you have 30 feet of movement too, so you can do whatever you like.
Yes. Yes, but I like being at a distance from this guy.
Yeah, I can understand why. At some point, you're just going to get really pissed and just come right up to us and kick us.
Yeah, I know. I think I'll save that for... I am burning through spell slots here. I'll hit him with magic missile.
Okay. Doesn't require anything but rolling complete or let it die.
Oh, that's a good one. Me too. 13 points of force damage. We've done 30 points of damage to him.
Yeah. Starting to look a little unhappy about that. Let him hobble around.
Yes, it's his turn. This is not going his way. He hasn't managed to hit us at all.
No.
He's made how many attack rolls against us at this point? It was 4 before the combat even started.
He's not stupid. He's not bright. But he's not stupid. He has the full arm now. You see a moment's hesitation as he looks at us, and all of us realizes that this is definitely not his day. And runs off.
Okay, what direction is he running in?
Well, so he came down this way.
Yes.
Charged past us, trying to skewer me. Missed.
Yeah.
Turned around, came back, rolled the one, tripping in the silver hole, landed his staff or his forearm on the ground, pulled it out. Because he's on this side of us anyway, turned, he's run, and he's heading down this way.
Alright.
You can get, well, he's 40 feet from you, and at the end of his move, he's going to be 140 feet away.
140 feet away?
Yes.
He can move that far?
He can move 50 feet, and he's dashing. That's 100 feet. He's already 40 feet from you. So when your initiative comes up, he's 140 feet away from you. You can move up 30 feet, or 20 feet, and be just within magic missile range.
Yes, well, you're up before me anyway.
I join you. I'm not going to. I don't want to. I mean, he looks a little damaged, but I don't think we can take him down. I think he's chosen to flee at a point where we might get another shot at him, but he's going to manage to easily outdistance us. He is far faster than us, almost twice as fast.
Well, unfortunately, that means he might be going to warn the others.
Yes, he is definitely. By the end of my turn, he has made this turn, and he is heading up this way.
Alright, looking down at my locate object spell, is it which direction is it pointing us in now from where we are?
Direction hasn't changed.
So we're still going this way.
Well, we're here now.
Yes.
It is now pointing almost directly across the way.
Yes. So basically, we're probably going to end up following him anyway.
It does seem that he is heading roughly in the same direction. We assume, not being stupid, that being associated with her, he's most likely trying to meet up.
Right. Well, annoyingly, that consumed quite a few spell slots.
Yes. In short order, our mirror images are gone.
Yes.
You're
I'm going to want to try... I'm going to keep moving at this point. We're just going to keep following locate object because...
Well, the funny thing about combat, you didn't need up hardly any of the locate object time. You have about 4 minutes left.
Alright, well, let's press on because...
Yep. So as we head this way, you notice the direction of the pointer keeps turning more and more north.
Okay.
And basically, by the time we reach here, it is sort of more and more west. And it's almost pointing directly up.
Yes.
At this point, you notice, as we round this, there's some hills here, but you notice some derelict buildings.
Yes, we notice the buildings, which are quite easily spottable from the map.
Yes. We now notice that they actually are, even though they are marked on... Did we buy a map? I don't remember. Yes, we did.
No, I can see them on the graphic that I'm looking at.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure we bought a map when we got into town, so... We usually do. I like maps.
Okay.
If not, I'm buying a map when you get back to town. So anyway, yes, we see some derelict buildings. Old farmsteads, but it looks hard to tell from this distance.
Alright.
But yes, your twig is pointing directly towards you. And as we head a little closer, your locate object fades.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
Well, that was a bit of a... That fight was a little exhausting. I wouldn't mind taking a short rest to use Arcane Recovery.
That would be an hour.
Yes. We do have a spot to go towards now. So we can head that way after we finish. Unfortunately, they might flee by then or be more prepared.
They might either be prepared or they may vacate the place entirely.
Alright.
That is the risk because, practically all of Wendle's shop is in that direction.
Yes. Alright, let's head that way for the moment at least.
Alright. It is a short walk. Probably about another 3 or 4 minutes. And unless you want to rush. I'll do a flyby.
Yep.
And nothing's seen.
Right.
Nothing's visible.
Alright, well, let's get going then.
Alright. So we get there. Basically, when we are standing on this last hill looking down into this little, almost like a mini settlement.
Yep.
Would you roll an intelligence check for me, please?
18.
This is definitely different architecture than Burns Run. This is something that you think is a remnant from the past. Definitely has been here a while. These are exclusively stone buildings. They're in horrible condition. They're decrepit, and there's actually a sign stuck in the ground in front of them warning people to stay away. Crumbling terrain. It's dangerous. Stay away.
Okay.
And that's what you see. There is 3 buildings there, and they're all in horrible condition. Lots of weeds, lots of plants,
Alright.
lots of crumbled down, tumbling stuff.
Do I cast Locate Object again to give us a direct to point in to pick one of these buildings to go into, or do we just try searching all 3? Is the question.
Let's look and see if I have anything to say about this. I think an initial scout would probably be a good idea because that's a massive creature. Must leave some kind of tracks.
All right. Well, can I get your assistance looking for tracks?
Yeah, go for it.
So is this perception or survival? I don't know why I'm asking.
Survival, which I have.
Okay, then you should probably be rolling this, but I guess I'll...
Alright.
Oh.
Alright. As I said, centaurs are really easy to track because
Yes.
they're huge, especially this one, and you easily spot where the weeds and mosses and grasses have been definitely trampled. Right. What we noticed is one thing. He came up this way,
Yes.
crested this hill,
Yes.
then went to around this building, and then took off this way.
Okay.
spent a bit of time around this building.
He might be trying to lead us off, so we should probably check.
Now he's headed out that way.
Alright, we should definitely check that building he stopped by, because he might just be trying to lead us off on a wild chase at this point, away from where they are.
Alright. Roll investigation, please. With advantage.
That's another 18.
Alright. As we get closer, we start looking around. We notice two things. First off, some of the rubble has been moved recently.
Okay.
Because there seems to be a bit of a clear spot. The centaur led us right to it because that's where he went.
Mm-hmm.
And then he took off from there. And you notice just underneath the fallen slab, there seems to be a bit of a cave in the floor where something has collapsed long ago. And there seems to be something like a sinkhole or something along those lines in the middle of that building.
Alright, so there's a sinkhole, possibly.
Well, it's hard to tell from the outside. You'd have to get closer to have a look.
Alright, can your owl fly over there and get a closer look? Just in case it is a sinkhole?
It'd be probably easier for your cat because the owl has to fly above it. I can give it a try, but I think your cat would have more success.
Okay, I'll summon Alice and have her carefully...
Roll investigation for your owl, or for Alice.
For Alice? Sorry, was that investigation, or...?
Yeah, that's where it is, and you're actively searching it.
Okay. Am I using my intelligence modifier or hers?
If you want, you can perceive through her senses.
Yeah, I'll do that because...
much better...
Yeah, because I have a positive modifier.
Okay.
That's still not a very good roll. 12.
It's good enough. It's not hard to figure out. As she sneaks forward,
Yeah.
has a look around the hole. It is basically this is the first floor of a building, and some of the stonework is collapsed in. There's still a ladder heading down into what looks like a basement of some kind. There's a lot of rubble and broken stuff down there, but it's definitely a sub-floor to what we're standing on.
Okay.
And seems relatively intact.
Alright, so there's a sub-basement of which the remaining two members of this group could be hiding in. Okay. Is there like a...
It's definitely big enough for them to get down.
Yes. Wouldn't, not. Okay. So there's no actual door, it's just like
This is a hole.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
at one point, at the northern end, it's a straight because it's looks like there's actually part of this was actually a normal entrance to the subfloor because that's where the ladder goes down.
Okay.
It's all been collapsed.
So could Alice like jump down there and...
It's a 10-foot drop.
So yes.
So
Like,
quite easily.
so a cat doesn't take falling damage from that height, so that's fine.
I just roll a dexterity or stealth, depending on which way you want to go.
I think it should be stealth because I want her to try to be
Right.
quiet and cautious as she approaches.
Right.
Oh, that's a good roll. Alright, and her stealth is, 22.
She ghosts in, no problem at all. Are you still perceiving through her senses?
Yes. We'll say at this point, yes.
And then, let's do this.
Okay, so I assume this is the first room I see.
This is what, she's right about here right now.
Yeah.
This is the ladder from above. And
Yes.
I do see there's a lot of broken furniture, crates, rubble on the floor, and this is all something that has been here for a very long time.
Alright, and there is an obvious exit from this room?
Yes, there is a obvious exit. Just the one.
Alright, well, I'll have her creep forward towards that.
Alright, so she comes down here and looks this way, I assume.
Yes.
Alright, so I would like you to roll this be a perception check.
Okay.
Well, are you still perceiving through her senses?
Yes.
Okay. your choice. You can actively investigate, or you can proceed.
I will go with investigation, because her perception is the same as mine, unless this is scent-based, which has advantage, so I'll just roll investigation. Total of 20.
Alright. As she approaches,
Yeah.
she notices, almost at her eye level, there seems to be a very thin cord crossing the path.
A tripwire.
You think so, yes.
Okay. Is it possible, so, right at her, like, eye level? You said?
Yes.
Okay, so she could attempt to...
She's sneaking forward, right?
Yes.
So usually when cats sneak forward, they're not standing up straight, they're crouched down a little bit.
So it's low to the floor, okay.
And right across her eyeballs, is probably the reason why she saw it so easily.
Okay.
There is a cord.
Well, I'm going to instruct Alice to try and jump over that.
That will definitely be acrobatics or dexterity.
It's just plain dexterity, because she doesn't have acrobatics. Okay. 18.
18! Handily done.
Yeah.
Alright. Are you still having a peek through her eyeballs?
Yes, though she might be getting past the point in which I can give instructions. I don't know how far she's traveling at this point.
No, this is about 40 feet. She's about 50 feet away from you, so you have a bit more time.
Yes.
So, this is what you see.
Is that a ballista?
Yes, this is the wire she saw. Then after she jumped over it, she sees, and you see, a ballista aimed at that intersection.
Okay, and...
The ballista, she can't really see because she's short, but there's not just an arrow in there. There seems to be something else in it.
Okay. And just as she went past, she would have been able to look down that corridor and just rubble?
It is an empty corridor, and it's collapsed at the end.
Okay. I'm just going to have her wait there for a moment. I'm going to pop out her, back into myself for a moment and say, alright, well, we have a bit of... I have a bit of an idea of what the initial area is. There's basically some sort of underground complex down there. There is a tripwire and a ballista set up, but Alice is getting a bit far for me to just give mental instructions to. We might want to follow behind her at this point.
Yeah, I think we should go down for sure. And as you're talking to me and you're in your own senses, you realize that this structure below here roughly fits out with the building that's we're standing in the rubble.
Okay, so it's probably about the same size then.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not too big. Okay.
Roll an intelligence check.
24 if it's just straight intelligence.
It matches exactly as if this building we're standing in.
Yeah.
This is exactly the footprint.
Okay, so it's just a basement, which is just the same as the floors above it. Okay.
Yes, but roughly about here is where the building ends above.
Yes. And it looks like it might continue that way, from what I saw.
You can't tell because it was from the angle and everything else. That's as far as you can perceive.
All right. Well, we should go down there. There is a tripwire and a ballista set up, so we should try to avoid that. But this is definitely looking like something we need to investigate.
All right. I would like you to roll a dexterity check to get down the ladder, please.
Oh dear. 7. I do not have a cat's grace.
No.
And
You stumble a little bit, but it was an easy dex check. It was fine. You make it.
Yes, but it might have caused noise, which up until this point Alice had not caused. So.
It was not silent.
No.
For sure. Possibly a little bit of cursing, but not much. So you make it to the bottom. I would like you to roll an investigation check with advantage, please.
Wow. This does not come up very often where I roll the exact same number. So investigation? Well, I don't have that, so it's just a 14 to get in total.
Alright. Not a hard check because Alice was not the only individual individual creature, whatever, that have passed by here recently. There are footprints, scuff marks.
Okay.
So, what would you like to do?
Well, I think we should head to where the tripwire was and try to go over it without... I assume I know where it is, basically, because...
Well, you know where it is because Alice is,
just past it, yeah.
So you're right here at the moment.
Yeah.
Tell me how you want to proceed.
Quietly and stealthily, hopefully.
Alright, so this is going to require a dex check and a stealth check. Dex check is going to be a really low DC
To get over the tripwire.
to get over the tripwire because you know where it is,
Yeah.
but it does exist.
Yeah, I'm just going to point it out to you, obviously.
And
Right.
just show it, I mean, we can see it, but so first,
I'm going to roll the dex check first.
dex check first, please.
17.
I rolled a 17, and then I have some pluses.
Yes.
So we get over there quite easily. Now I'd like you to roll a stealth check, please.
Twice in a row was a bit too much to ask for. 10, apparently.
Well, my total came to 9. So, not the quietest.
Not the
making some noise, because we were more concerned about not getting impaled.
Yep.
But we did make it across. And at this point, because we're taller, we notice that the ballista is not, as this diagram indicates, loaded with an arrow. It is loaded with a bundle. And it's hooked up to a mechanism, so it's going to fire
Something.
a barrage of arrows into that area.
Oh, good. They've set up the medieval fantasy equivalent of the machine gun.
Yeah. Well, I was going to fire them all at once. So make them our medieval equivalent of a shotgun. And as we're standing here, we notice, of course, now that we're further in, a couple of things.
Okay. So that's caved in.
Where we thought the room should end because of above,
It does, but for a different reason.
it has caved in there. And then we notice that right here, this area here,
Yes.
is been, someone has done a bit of mining, almost, like removed some stones,
Okay, yeah.
and have then tunneled. This is a tunnel. This is a recent construction.
All right. Well, I think we should try and proceed more cautiously than we've been able to so far down this tunnel.
Right.
All right, so down the corridor we go.
Yes. It doesn't slope down much, but it does. It is, as you can tell here, not a straight path. So I would like you to roll first off stealth.
In the immortal words of Elon the Bard, I rolled a 4.
Alright. A little stumbling, a bit of trying to trip around
And catch myself against the wall.
you hear the sound of metal banging rhythmically on stone.
Is it coming down the direction of this tunnel?
Coming from the direction we are heading.
That might be an alarm of some sort.